I saw true hate coming from the left, and it was white people calling me Uncle Tom. Pretty much, white people telling me I'm not black enough.
The people that call me the nastiest, all kinds of like, oh, house Uncle Tom, like all this stuff.
I've been called a bed wench.
That's how racist the left still is.
We live in intolerant times. Under President Obama's leadership, the progressive movement has become a force hostile to freedom, democracy, and even equality.
Do you believe in free speech? Do you believe that people should be judged by their character, not their skin color? Do you believe in freedom of religion? If you believe these things, you're probably not a progressive.
You hear it all the time in conservative and right-wing news media, sayings like, so much for the tolerant left, and the left is unhinged. And if you're a leftist like me, it gets annoying, because for some reason, conservatives expect us to tolerate their behavior towards marginalized groups like the LGBT community, illegal immigrants, African Americans, and women. This belief probably comes from the idea that in America, at least, we should be tolerant of everyone and their beliefs, to each their own and whatnot. This is great and all, but I ask you, what happens when one's beliefs become a vote to strip you of your rights? Should we be tolerant of it? And further off, should we be tolerant if that vote came from someone who is a part of the same marginalized group as you? Should the left be tolerant of the right and their intolerance?
Game over. Game over. Game over.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Sorry I was gone for so long. My sisters were having a quince, which, if you don't know what that is, let's call it the Spanish woman's Sweet 16. And unfortunately, it involved me being away for a week on a boat without internet or any viable connection to the real world. So today, I wanted to make a video about tolerance because it involved PragerU and Dubin bashing, and Dubin bashing is one of my all-time favorite sports. Now, if you don't know who Dave Rubin is, he's a gay man who calls himself a liberal while also doing nothing but being a scapegoat for the right. And that's pretty much all you need to know. But I'll leave some videos about who he is and what he's done so far in the description, as well as all the links to all the videos that were used in this video today. Okay, so let's get going. In Dave Rubin's PragerU video, Dave says this:
The Declaration of Independence guarantees us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But there's an implicit contract there. To have your life, your liberty, and your pursuit of happiness, you have to be tolerant of somebody else's life, their liberty, and their pursuit of happiness.
This sounds nice and great and all, but there's a problem. How can you be tolerant of someone else's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness if you are intolerant of their very existence? How can this guy...
So a lot of these people are fleeing horrific political situations themselves and seeking asylum. You still think that we should shoot?
If they just shot at them a few times, they would go back.
Or this guy...
I believe that all homosexuals are pedophiles. If you actually study the history of homosexuality, even back into ancient Greece and the ancient Roman Empire, pedophilia has always been part and parcel of the homosexual agenda. And all over the world, the homosexual agenda's goal is to keep lowering the age of consent.
Or these guys...
You will not replace us! You will not replace us! You will not replace us!
possibly believe these values? The answer is that, well, they don't. Throughout the history of America, progress has only been made by the left dragging conservatives, and I'm not getting into the conversation about the Southern strategy or how the demon rats held slaves before the Republicans freed them, at least not in this video, because that's boring and I don't want to do that. So what did the left do? Boycotted buses, rioted, protested, gave speeches to thousands of people, and America in general went to war with itself over the intolerant people who didn't even want to give black people their freedom. All of these are signs of intolerance by people who were, well, intolerant, right? If Mr. Dubin's claim is that
to have your life, your liberty, and your pursuit of happiness, You have to be tolerant of somebody else's life, their liberty, and their pursuit of happiness.
Then why shouldn't we, the left, do everything in our power to make sure that everyone has those rights? If conservatives are going to continue to make life harder for women and the LGBT community, why shouldn't we be making life harder for them? If conservatives and right-wingers are going to be intolerant of the existence of immigrants and black people in America, so much so that they will start to chip away the rights of these people's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, then why should the left be tolerant of it? Where does it get us? Where does it get America? How are we supposed to progress and give others their right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness if the left is being tolerant of Republicans stripping those very rights away? The answer is simple. We need to be intolerant as hell. We need to protest, give speeches, educate our fellow men, women, and theys and thems. And if that's not effective, then we need to do whatever is most effective. If we have to yell politicians out of a restaurant, then we need to do it. We have to do whatever we possibly can for our fellow men, women, and they thems to have their rights, because the more we tolerate intolerance, the less rights they will have in the end. So what about the people who are part of the same marginalized groups as us, who still vote to take other people's rights away? What then? Well, it really depends on the person. Someone like Jordan Lee Peterson won't be swayed no matter what you do. Someone like me, who used to be a conservative, will though. You need to make them do their own research, to figure these things out and debate them constantly on their views, because their views can't hold up. A black conservative has no good arguments whatsoever. And what I say doesn't just go for black conservatives, but LGBTQ ones, immigrant ones, and women too. And if education doesn't work, then we need to protest against them too. We need to be intolerant as hell. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And again, I'm sorry for being gone for so long. Heads up a week before next time on my Twitter so you guys will know. My Twitter and all of my social media will be in the description down below. Again, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. I'll see you guys in the next video, when we'll be talking about, let's see, let's talk about building a wall. Y'all have a nice night.